to win the football game. So we won't put any emphasis on, well, the losses on defense. And let me tell you something. We learned this spring. We learned this spring that we got our butts handed to us a couple of times in a couple of practices because we may have had that mindset. So it was a great opportunity to teach our football team that every single day, every single play, you're focusing on being the best version of yourself, and then everything will take care of itself. But we won't have that conversation. We'll focus more on our job is to score points when we're going to the field.
What are some of the things you've heard about Malusi just from being on campus, a short time he's been here, and summer workouts?
For him, he's a very focused young man. You can tell that he's got a lot of maturity. Comes from a great program, so he's got a very, very strong foundation from a strength standpoint. Just talking to some of the older guys, saying he's moving around well, he's grasping what they're trying to teach him. But I won't be able to fully assess that until I get out there, I get my eyes on, get my hands on him. But everything I've heard has been really positive on him and Mike Dukes.
How's Amari coming along with his rehab?
As far as I know, everything is going great. I mean, you see him walking around here. I know he's out there running. He's anxious to. Amari's the kind of guy, man. He's a pro. I mean, he conditions his body. He prepares like a pro, and he's going to try and get back as fast as he can. So all indications is that everything is on track, and he looks great. Walking around, he's got a big smile on his face, and he's just working every single day.
What are your expectations for the two freshmen here, Chaz and Mikey Dukes?
Get themselves ready to play. That's the overall expectation. But you know what? That's the expectation for all of them. It's the same thing with Travis. Travis, get yourself ready to play, and if you're ready to play, contribute. Same thing with Lindsay. And so it won't be any different, and there's not going to be any additional pressure put on those guys because the biggest thing for those guys, in order for them to do what they do at this position, is confidence. And so I got to do a great job of helping them manage their confidence. Let me handle all the pressure and all the expectation and take that off of them, and let's let them, go out and learn and develop and see where they are once we get into halfway through fall game.
When you look at freshman running backs, is pass protection maybe the biggest concern?
That's probably the biggest concern, and the next is understanding the run scheme and the timing. I go back to Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman, man, it took him a long time to figure that out. If you remember watching Wayne, man, he was trying to do everything on his own because he didn't quite understand the concept and the timing. So once we're able to get them to understand, then they can survive. So once they understand what we're trying to do, they're natural athletes with the ball in the hands and know what to do. And that pass protection is my job to assess what their knowledge is, figure out what they understand, what they don't understand, figure out how to teach them and help them progress, and then day-to-day work on the fundamentals.
You talked about Chaz. What do you know about Mikey
coming out so far since he's been here?
Yeah.
I think he's got some people's attention with his athleticism. I think a lot of people, and I think everybody here saw what he did in that dunk contest down in Charleston, and that was something that I'd seen all along. I knew that he was a really, really good athlete, so I think that's what's caught people's attention, and then they like his demeanor. He's really focused. He's focused, and then I saw him the other day, and it looks like he's probably already gained about 7 or 8 pounds since he got here. So he's just a guy that's really just jumped in and not trying to do too much, but he's trying to do everything he can, if that makes sense.
Speaking of Travis's higher profile coming into the season, do you or have you spent any time talking with him about how to handle that, maybe going into the season, the attention coming in?
Travis is an interesting young man, and the real conversations that we've had have been centered around you got to embrace it. You ultimately wanted this. You wanted this attention. He don't like attention. Travis does not like attention. If you give him the option to kind of to speak or not to speak, he's gonna pick not to speak every single time. And so, just getting him comfortable and understanding that this comes with the territory. Don't run from it, and embrace it so that it doesn't become a distraction or a detriment to your game. So those are really the conversations. But in terms of pressure and profile outside in my room, we don't talk about anything.
Do you think Travis is taking that to heart? Do you see any kind of
I think so.
improvement in him wanting to speak?
I don't know if there's an improvement in him wanting to speak, but I think he's becoming more comfortable with the responsibility of having to do those things because of the success that he's had on the field and because of the profile that exists outside of the field.
I know you won't have weigh-in for a couple of weeks, but do you get the sense that that Dixon has done a pretty good job in the weight room?
He has, and it's interesting because I learned this with Zach Brooks, and I learned this with Wayne Gallman. Those were guys that I was like, I had expectations that, okay, these guys are going to be big, and it's gonna happen this fast, and it didn't. Because each young man is different. Their metabolism is different. I just look at, how do they physically look? Where is their confidence in terms of their body, and then what's their conditioning level? And everything that I've seen just in passing and conversation with him, he looks really, really good. And then what I've heard just from the talk around strength and conditioning is that he's doing really, really well with his conditioning. So that's what I'm excited about. Now, have I seen the numbers on the scale yet? I think he's still probably in that 193, maybe tops out at 195, a couple of days throughout the course of the week. So I'm not going to put as much emphasis on that as opposed to, physically, is he confident? Does he look good? And then what's his conditioning?
With the freshmen, do you feel like you're definitely going to need them this year with the numbers, or is it still a wait and see thing to how it kind of goes in?
I think naturally, just because you only got 2 scholarship guys and then you got Darren Rencher, that's naturally you say yes, you're going to need them. But at the end of the day, one, we got to do what's best for the players. We got to do what's best for the team. And hopefully, I can do a great job of helping them progress as quickly as possible to get them in a position to compete. But at the end of the day, you can't rush that process. And I'm excited for Darren Rencher. He's a guy that's been in our program, unbelievable young man. He's paid his dues. He's actually improved and gotten better. He's gotten to the point to where now his name is in the conversation as a guy that can give us good quality depth and push those guys. And so I'm excited about having those 5 guys to start camp. And then Ty Lucas is another walk-on that I think in the future, could have a chance of helping us down the road. But excited about those guys, and we'll see which guys are ready to play, and then we'll go.
With Darian and the 2 freshmen, what did each of those guys bring to the table?
So I think Darian, it starts with, Darian is he's an unbelievable young man, extremely high character. I think he brings leadership. I think he brings leadership, and then just his path to where he is, overcoming 2 ACLs, so he can teach those guys perseverance, and then he's got an unbelievable way of communicating with people. So he brings that calming factor a lot like Adam Choice did. Adam Choice was that guy for me last year. He was that calming factor that could be an extension of me when I'm not around. That's what Rencher brings, and then he's really improved his foot quickness and his speed, and he's tough in pass protection. And so those are things that he brings. Then I think Chez, you ultimately look at his combination of size and speed and the way he runs. He's a downhill guy. Reminds me a lot of Wayne. One cut guy, and he's going down behind his pads, and he's going to be violent. And then Mikey's probably in that Lin J category where he's an electric guy, a guy that you can get in space. But I won't know until I see those guys in pads. I see how they react to our environment.
I hate to bring up a sad topic, but how shocking was the news about Tyshawn? What do you remember about coaching?
Man, that was devastating. Devastating. Just like when I got the news of CJ, it was devastating, man. These are my guys. These are like my sons, and it's really hard. And I think that with Tyshawn, there was probably a lot more denial than it was with CJ, just because it's like, man, this can't be happening again. There's no way. And then they're different personalities, so the relationships were different between me. Whereas CJ was kind of like my baby boy, like Ace. Like, you got to put your thumb on Ace. So you spend a lot of time with Ace just because he's a free spirit. But Tyshawn's a lot like AJ. He's very focused. And the thing that made it so tough for me is Tyshawn probably gave more to me than I gave to him. And I take pride in pouring everything I got into my players. But just the person that he was, how he conducted his business, the obstacles that he overcame. He gave me so much. He made me a better person, and that's kind of what really caught me off guard, because I wasn't expecting that call on a Friday night. And then to go down and to spend time with his mom and his community, and just to see how much he meant to his family, to his community, and to see the celebration of his life, and to see all walks of life, all people from all different socioeconomic backgrounds come together to celebrate his life, which is confirmation. So I've been able to find peace, but even though I have peace with it, there's still, the last couple mornings have been really rough, just because I have, just like with CJ, I had so many dreams and thoughts and expectations of what I thought their life was going to look like going forward, and now we're not going to be privileged enough to see that. So that's me being selfish, but ultimately I feel really, really good because I know both of them were in a good place with the Lord. I'm confident I'm going to see them again. It was just really, really tough to see a young man so full of life gone so soon.
Tony, can I first off, I just need to clip this on you real quick because I got to get an answer. Real quick, I'm sorry. Take me through training camp. And it's a ritual, of course, it's a routine. But some of the checkpoints in camp from the time of what you're looking for out of, does Travis have the same step? Does Lynn J have that? The meetings you have, the daily routine and how you keep it fresh but stay on schedule to what you're trying to progress to.
That's a tough question.
It's very broad, but kind of try to put me in that place.
So I think it starts in the first couple of days, just really, really setting the stage for what's to come in terms of resetting our minds, going back to the basics, and it starts with me going back to teaching these guys how I want them to stand, how I want them to take the exchange from the quarterback, where I want their eyes to be, how I want them to step. That's where it starts. And then over the first couple of days, validating that on film, making sure that we're seeing that, and then also making sure that I'm not just doing it exactly the same way as I did it last year from the standpoint of making sure that, like you said, it's fresh. So we want to make sure we have the right engagement, the right level of conversation in there. It's not just me talking, because I need to validate that they understand what's going on. And as we progress, hopefully we get that under control in the first couple of days, and then I want to see us, okay, now let's progress to, okay, not just understanding how we do it, why do we do it? Why do we do it? Big picture things, big picture, because as you get into the game, I'm not out there with them. I'm not in their ear. I don't have the microphone in their helmet. So, okay, there's going to be situations that they're going to see in the game that may not exactly look like what we prepared for, but if you understand the big picture, then you can get yourself into a situation to be successful. So that's how we'll progress throughout the course of the middle of camp. And then by the end, really now it's just polishing it up, polishing and making sure everything's refined and ready to go for the first camp.
It gets to be a grind.